Hi besties, welcome to my channel. My name is Elizabeth. So in today's tutorial, I'll be teaching us how to cut and sew this half circle skirt with a ruched effect. If that sounds like something you're interested in learning, you definitely want to keep on watching. And without wasting much of your time, let's get to the video. To cut this half circle skirt, you will need about 2.5 yards of any fabric of your choice. For me, I'm making use of a vintage material, but if you're on a bigger side, you can use 3 yards. So for this particular skirt, the measurement you will need is basically your waist circumference and then your full length, your full skirt length. Here is how to go about the calculation. You need your waist circumference divided by 3.142 plus 1 inch of sewing allowance. For example, my waist is 32. I'll divide that by 3.142, then add 1 inch of allowance. Now a total of that will give me 11.18. That will be my radius. Then the next thing I'm going to do is to fold my fabric on bias, or fold it to get a triangle shape or a cone shape, just like you're seeing on the screen. Next, I'm going to place my tape at that point and then take my radius measurement, which I got from the calculation we made earlier. The radius is 11.1 inch. I'm just going to mark that round like so. And then I'm going to connect that to give me a nice curve. Next, I'm going to place my tape on the folded part and then measure around the curve. I'll make sure the measurement I have around the curve is my waist measurement divided by 4 plus 1 inch for seam allowance. And then from that point, I'm going to mark my skirt length. I'm using a skirt length of 45 inches. I'm just going to mark that all round like so. And then I'm going to connect all the points together to give me a nice curve. So next thing I will do is to go ahead and cut it out on the lines. So after cutting, here is what it looks like. Next, I'll go to the upper part, and then from the 11.18 inches I marked earlier for my waist circumference, I'm going to go up from there by half of an inch. That will be my allowance for joining the skirt to the band. If you don't put the half of an inch like this, you're going to have your waist bigger than the original waist that you wanted. So the best way to do is to go up by half of an inch so that it does not get wider. Next, I'll connect that together and then go ahead to cut it out. After cutting, here is what it looks like. So for the back, I've gone ahead to fold the back piece the same way I folded the front one. So then I'm going to place my front piece on the new folded fabric and basically just trace out everything I have on the front piece. So after cutting out the two pieces, this is what it looks like. I have the front and the back. So to determine where the drawstring effect is going to be, I'm going to take one of the pieces and then put it on fold just like this. And then the next thing I'll do is to take half of my nipple to nipple measurement, which is the bust pan. So for me, half of my nipple to nipple measurement is 4 inches. I'm going to mark 4 inches at the waist area, the upper part of the skirt. And then to get a straight line, I'll come to the hem of the dress and mark my nipple to nipple measurement exactly without dividing it. So that's 8 inches. So on the bottom part, I'm going to mark 8 inches. And on the upper part, which is the waist area, I'm going to mark 4 inches. So whatever your nipple to nipple measurement is, mark half of it on the waist, and on the down part, you mark the nipple to nipple measurement exactly without dividing it. I hope you get that. Then I'm going to connect the 2 points to get a straight line, just like you're seeing on the screen. Just go ahead and connect it from the waistline down to the hem of the skirt to get a straight line. Now I'm going to determine how long I want the drawstring to be. So for me, I came down my 16 inches from the waist point. So you can also use 16 inches, 17 inches. Next, I'm going to cut 3 straps of 27 inches in length and 2 inches in width. All the 3 straps are of the same length and the same width. So that's 27 inches for the length. That's how long the strap is. And then for the width is 2 inches. So one of these strap is going to be the casing, while the other 2 is going to be the rope. For the rope, I'm just going to fold it into 2, so I have 1 inch on fold, and then I'm going to stitch down by half of an inch from the top to the bottom. I'll do the same thing to the other strap. Next thing I will do is to place my casing on the skirt, and to do that, I'm going to check for the line I drew earlier, and then on that line exactly, I'm going to place this casing on it. But before then, I will fold in ½ inch on the bottom of the casing, then place it on the line that I drew before. And then I'm going to stitch it at the middle. Then after that, I'm going to fold in the other edges and then top stitch on them. So this is what it looks like after sewing the casing. I'm going ahead to top stitch it just like I said I was going to do. And I've also sewed the other 2 straps and then turn it inside out like so. You can see the ½ inch I folded in, and then I top stitch at the middle, and also I folded the edges, the other sides, I folded them in and then top stitch on them. Then I'm going to cut out the excess. The next thing I'll do is to use my safety pin to pass the rope into the casing, just like you're seeing on the screen. Go ahead and pass the rope till you get to the waistline. I'm going to repeat the same thing for the second rope. So after passing the rope, this is what the skirt looks like. I'm loving how this is turning out already. Next, I'm going to place the other pieces on it, right side facing each other, and then I'm going to stitch the side by 1 inch stitching allowance all the way to the bottom. Then for the other side, I'm going to repeat the same thing, but I'll come down by 7 inches for my zipper allowance before stitching it down with 1 inch of stitching allowance. After joining the size, this is what the skirt looks like. The next thing I'll do is to measure around the waist of the skirt, starting from the opening that I left earlier. Then after that, I'll go ahead and use the measurements I got to cut out my band. So this is what my band looks like. I've gone ahead to use my waist measurement that I got on the skirt to cut this. I actually divided the waist into two, and then I used it to cut the length of this band. And for the width of the band, I have 4 inches, but on fold is going to be 2 inches because my band is going to be 1.5 inches wide. So by the time I stitch with ½ inch of allowance, I'll be left with 1.5 inches. So I'll go ahead now to the sewing machine and stitch it down, then come back and show us what it looks like. So here is what my skirt looks like after fixing the band, and then I'll go ahead to weave the hem of the skirt. So we've come to the end of this tutorial. If you find this video helpful, please do not forget to like the video, and if you're yet to subscribe to my YouTube channel, please click on the subscribe button below and turn on post notification bell. Thank you so much for watching. See you in my next one. Bye.